With the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn. Good afternoon, Quad Cities. It's Thursday, August 5th, the year 2021 AD. It's noon here. Supposed to be maybe a little bit of rain today, but nothing too bad that's going to keep us away from the fair festivities. In studio with me is Adrian. Adrian, say hi to everybody.
Jay, happy Fair Week.
Happy Fair Week to you too, my friend. Happy Fair Week to you too.
Feels a little odd today being the first time I'm in here on a Thursday this week.
Yeah?
I happen to be flipping around things around here. Last time I was in here, we were doing the coaches wrestling thing.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a lot of fun.
That's true. That's right. That was, what was it? Was that Thursday or a couple weeks?
Yeah, Thursday, because Friday we had the Sox game, so we were off.
Thursday we had the Sox game, and then Friday we just took it off, so it was Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah, whole week.
Man, Adrian, it's been a week since I got to hang out with you.
You ain't lying.
Both of us got a little under the weather. I had strep over the weekend. You got a little bug?
I just did not feel good. Not at all.
Yeah? Well, were you worried at all about, the vid?
No. Don't really get worried.
I think I'm not worried about any of that stuff either, but I think it's a good idea to give everybody just a little PSA and go ahead and stock up on those at-home COVID tests now.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's you can get them for free. They'll send them to you, so might as well do it.
I guess you could say I was a little worried at the same time because you don't want to be around anybody when you're sick right now.
Nope.
It's not the time.
No, not at all. And I think the other thing is this: even if you don't buy into the COVID thing, or you've had it, or you've got the antibodies, or you've got the vaccine, or whatever else, I think it's just a good reminder that, hey, if you don't feel well, just stay home.
Take a day off.
Yeah,
nobody's complaining right now.
You don't need to be out. You don't need to be out and about. I mean, I got offered, hey, you want to go meet up for a drink and talk about this? I'm like, nah, I don't feel well. I got a little strep. I'm not going to go out there with this thing. I don't want anyone to catch what I have or anything like that. And I think in general, it's just good life advice. Just stay home. It's okay. No one's going to miss you that much.
And nobody's telling anybody no about staying home and being sick right now.
Yeah. So, well, it's a big day. I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I mean, if you're a diehard, you live for football. This is it. The Hall of Fame game, preseason tonight. Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys.
Big game,
I guess
a lot of backups.
There will be no Ben Roethlisberger tonight. There will be no Dak Prescott tonight.
I saw the advertisement for today, and they had like Ezekiel Elliott and Amari Cooper on like the advertisement. And I'm like,
that's not happening.
They're not playing.
No, they did say the Steelers did come out and say that Najee Harris will play. He's going to play in every game. Now it's a matter of how many series. I mean, he might go the first series, second series. That's about it.
And go sit down.
So here's what we're looking at right now, because we'll just come right out of the gate firing, because this is what you guys are interested in. It's Steelers -2. It opened up -1.5. Steelers -2. Mason Rudolph's going to start for the Steelers. He's pretty.
He doesn't still have a concussion?
No, I think he just permanently has one.
Yeah.
But then you also have Dwayne Haskins, who's going to see some reps too.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's right.
That's exciting.
And I like that a lot more than a lot of Garrett Gilbert starting for the Cowboys.
Who is that?
He's a journeyman who also saw some time in the AAF, or I don't know, XFL. I just remember that name from that. So, honestly, I would never ever advise betting on the NFL preseason, but if you have to, I would lean heavily towards the Steelers.
Steelers -2.
Yeah,
lock it in now.
That's what I say.
Yeah,
you're not going to see Ezekiel. You're not going to see. And by the way, the Cowboys' defense is not good. By the way, I mean the NFL East might as well just be the Big 12 the way that they don't play defense.
Yeah.
So the over-under...
Wow, that's kind of funny. I didn't even think about that right there.
The over-under is 32.5.
That's got to be over, right?
I feel like it's got to be over.
It's got to be over.
And
These are a bunch of backups.
I've been wrestling with this over-under back and forth the entire time. Like, man. Like, no, it's going to be under. They've only been in camp for 6 days. There's just a bunch of guys trying to make the squad. And you're just saying over because you want to cheer for scores. Man,
A lot of these guys are going to be easing up on tackles though too, and like they're not going to go full head of steam, every time. Nobody wants to get hurt, especially in the first half. Now the second half, you got guys that want to make the team.
Yeah.
But the first half, I think we're gonna.
Cowboys have a new defensive coordinator in Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Steelers have a new offensive coordinator.
Who's he?
I forget his name right now.
Nobody big.
No, but
like
they apparently they got. This is what I was actually listening to. I should have remembered because I was listening to a podcast this morning about it, and it was like the beat reporter for the Steelers was a guest, and they're talking about this new offensive coordinator and how he's going to change things. And I guess here's the other thing: how people are down talk about the Steelers last season when they started off like 13-0 is still weird. We forgot about that. We forgot that they started off 13-0, and then and then they don't do anything in playoffs again for however many times. Tomlin's
didn't they lose out? Lose
no,
the last
they didn't lose
4
out,
games
but
or something like that.
Tomlin's in 4 out of the last 5 years when he's got doubled, or I think 4 straight or 5 straight playoffs, he's lost in the first round when he's got 11 or more wins in a season.
And that's why you lose to Riverboat Ron in our wrestling.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. So they've got a new offensive coordinator. Apparently, the offensive coordinator last year was more of Big Ben's drinking buddy than an NFL offensive coordinator. That's what they said. That's what they were trying to say. And I'm like, that's an interesting way of putting it.
What are they just showing up hungover together?
I don't know. They're like, hey, this guy, the guy who went out. So I want to see what Pittsburgh's going to do. Dan Quinn's going to be running some things. I mean, apparently he's not just running cover 3. He's doing a lot of cover 1, cover 2, mixing things up. It's going to be interesting because the Cowboys really don't have that good of a defense. They're getting better, but Micah Parsons is a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Rookie D-backs, and they add a lot of guys in defense, but rookie defensive players don't usually do too well. I like the score. I think Mason's going to do. I think Dwayne Haskins is going to come in and do some things. He kind of is the future, don't you think, of the Steelers right now?
He has to be. At least what they're projecting to be the future.
Well,
and I mean, he's got a lot of talent still. He gets the right head on his shoulders. Somebody can talk to him a little bit.
Not his fault. He went to Washington and didn't know what was
just
going on.
Just getting drafted by Washington, it's got to make you feel not very great. Unless you're a defensive player. I feel
the other thing is this, and hopefully, let's look at it like this. And we're focusing on Dwayne Haskins right now. You take a player who goes into, and I'm not taking anything away from the Washington football team. I'm just saying you're going into something like the Steelers. Kind of like when you have someone like, I don't know, maybe kind of down the attitude like a Randy Moss at the New England Patriots, right? Now, I'm not saying Dwayne Haskins is up there on that level, because he's not. But maybe you going into that atmosphere is a reality check of this is who I got to be. Because the reports were, when Dwayne Haskins was there, was, that he was told, you are the future. You're the franchise. You are going to take us to the promised land. And he walked in to day one telling people, I am the future. I am the franchise. I'm taking you to the promised land. They told me so. The owner loves me. Dan Schneider loves me, told me I'm the guy. Told the coaches, I'm the guy. I don't need to listen to you. And he had a lot of backlash. And this was 2 years ago that they were reporting this. So I think maybe that's the thing. Maybe Tomlin's like, I don't know you, bro.
Yeah.
You just got cut by the Washington football team, who, it's the Washington football team, right? I think they might have had a losing record and they won the division.
Yeah.
So he's like, we're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's what you're going to do. And you're going to be a professional.
This is how things work around here.
And you can only hope so for his sake, right?
No, absolutely. I think he's got a lot of talent. And like you said, I didn't know all those reports, but I could totally see that. You walk into a building and everybody's like, gives you the keys, right when you walk in. You're going to walk around like you're the guy.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do. I mean, Mason Rudolph, he's going to try to show that he's Mason, not do Mason Rudolph things. And I want to be talked out of the over, but I like the over.
Yeah.
I like the Steelers.
I feel like the over might be close
13.5.
to hitting it in the first half.
Yeah. How much of this game are you going to watch? How's that?
0%.
You going to Shinedown tonight at the fair?
The old lady wants to go to Shinedown. I'm pretty sure we're doing that.
0%.
I don't get to make those rules anymore.
0%. I love it. Okay, so also we have inductions in the Hall of Fame. The classes of the 2020 and 2021 are going to go in over the weekend. Some of the names that are going in the class of 2020, Steve Hutchins, Edgerrin James, Isaac Bruce, the Centennial class of 2020, Cliff Harris, Alex Karras, former Hawkeye Alex Karras, and Webster's dad or adopted father on the show Webster in the 80s, for some of you who are old like me. Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson, Alan Faneca are guys that are going in as well. Let's see. I got a full list, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later, about the full list of people that are on there. So we've got that going on. Are you, I was thinking about this, and I feel like the last 3 days, heck, 4 days, 3 days going into today, where even a Indianapolis Colts, Tuesday we came back.
Can we get some new shoes over there?
What do you mean?
And some new shoes in Indy?
Yeah.
Man, all these toe problems.
Yeah, Ezra says Duke Slater's going in too, which is, by the way, that's a big deal because in University of Iowa football has announced that Slater Field will be the new name at Kinnick Stadium in there. It will be Duke Slater Field, and rightfully so. I lobby that it should have been Kinnick Slater Stadium, and we can break that down at a later time. But yes, Duke Slater's going to the Hall of Fame, and Iowa it will be Slater Field. Now, going in Indianapolis, those two things, and I mentioned it yesterday and the day before too. That was not a college injury. That was a high school injury that Carson Wentz, that bone from a fracture that he had, that bone just started floating around.
Oh, really?
Yes. The other one, Quentin Nelson, that was actually he was born with that. And it was just a matter of time that it was eventually going to happen. Now, I haven't heard anything post-surgery with Quentin Nelson, but the post-surgery Carson Wentz was that the floating bone from the fracture that was there, basically, it wasn't attached to anything else, so it's looking more like 5 weeks to 12 weeks.
Okay.
Everyone was reaching out saying, like, they need to go get Nick Foles from the Bears because reunite him with Frank Reich. Whatever. Has anyone seen him play since the Phillies? I mean, the 19 games he played or whatever. He's not good.
It wasn't good.
He's not good. And then there's talks of Phillip Rivers. He says that he's getting into shape. Yeah. He's just waiting for the phone to ring.
Even he didn't look that great in Indy last year, though. Like, he had moments of greatness, but he looked the slowest he's ever looked. I don't know if he can look slower.
I'm just saying this. One, why? Why do you have to stop progress by going and getting Nick Foles or Phillip Rivers? You know, in 1999, when Trent Green got hurt for the Rams, the St. Louis Rams, and Dick Vermeil was crying on the podium saying that he lost his leader, his QB, but we're going to start this guy named Kurt Warner. They didn't go out and go get somebody. They just said, we're going to start this guy named Kurt Warner. Now who's in the Hall of Fame. You know, famous here from being from Cedar Rapids, played at University of Northern Iowa and from the World League as well. Can't we just, maybe Jacob Eason is a decent quarterback.
Jacob Eason's the guy? Is that what
maybe
you're,
he is,
telling
yeah.
me? All right.
I forget who else they drafted or whatever else is back there, though. Rivers is right. Rivers is coaching high school football, but there was a report at LA Times that went down there, and he said that he would not have made weight if he reported, but he said he's working out, and it is not ruling out the possibility if the phone rings. He's not actively doing it. But my point is that why is it that we automatically, media-wise, people jump in and be like, well, he's hurt. They got to go get him. They might have people in the room, and you never know if you're going to find your next Kurt Warner.
Huh.
And instead, they're like, nope, that's it. That's it. We can't do anything now. We're in trouble. So I just think if you're the Tennessee Titans, you love your division that you're playing in.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, even if he comes back, and I think 5 weeks will put him at week 1, that he's still going to be behind because you're off your feet for a little bit during the post-surgery. So,
and I mean, you turn around and people are saying Gardner Minshew as well. Like, go call him.
Yeah.
What has he done really in Jacksonville that really proves to you that he's a winner?
Nah, I don't know. He just shows up and kick-ass handlebar mustache and cut off blue jean shorts. Yeah.
So what else I hear? Mitch Trubisky was a guy that the Colts have been calling about.
Oh, my goodness. I have no idea. I mean, there's no reason for any of that. I honestly, let Jacob Eason. I mean, the guy was at Georgia before Jake Fromm took over. Then he transferred to Washington, and he was preseason hype for a Heisman there. So he can't be that good. So I'm just saying those type of things. We do have some phone calls this afternoon at 12:45. We're supposed to talk to Emily Van Buskirk. I want to talk to her about some things. I'm going to get your thoughts on some college football stuff as well. Adrian, ESPN.com yesterday posted best traditions, best stadiums, all this stuff. Their usual thing that they do every year. I always like to look at it and complain about what they what they have, what they say, because it's usually SEC driven and dominated. We'll talk to her about that and more, even the NCAA, what they came up with the findings. There was a law firm, the findings of what's going on to gender equality. And then at 1:30, we're going to have a phone call from a little leaguer from Davenport. We're going to talk to Luke Martin. They are going to be going to Whitestown, Indiana tomorrow. They're leaving for the Midwest Regional Tournament, and they're on the 12U team that won the state title. And they're going to be playing to represent the Midwest region in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the Little League World Series. So we're going to talk to him at 1:30 as well. But we've got that and more to talk about when we come back. Did you do any of the homework I gave you?
I did not.
Okay, good. Good to know. And I don't want to just jump in it then. Another time. All right. We will be right back here. Don't Hassle So Local here on ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Randall, the QC hot dog guy. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Don't you feel so free out here on the lake?
Not as free as this soda.
Where'd you get free soda?
Casey's. Buy 4 fountain drinks, 5th one's free.
I love free.
Well, then you'll love this. Bought this jerky, got this free donut.
I love free donuts.
With Casey's Summer of Freedom sweepstakes, the more you buy, the more you can win, including free Lee Brice concert tickets. Casey's, here for good. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. For official rules, visit Casey's.com.
It's Macy's one-day sale with great deals of the day to keep your summer look going strong. Like 40 to 60% off new outfits you'll want to wear on repeat. And 30 to 60% off the perfect shoes and sandals to match. Then add fine jewelry for the finishing touch, now 70% off. Plus, Star Rewards members earn rewards faster during Star Money bonus days, starting tomorrow at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Having some starting trouble? We can help you out. Let's start with a free battery test. If you just need a charge, we can help with that too. And if you need a new battery, we've got a wide selection of replacement batteries starting at just $79.99. And we're the only place you can find proven tough Duralast batteries, including Duralast Platinum with AGM and EFB technology. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2020.
Men who make life-changing choices today can be more active and live longer. Come on, guys. Admit you're not the man you used to be. And stop living with the symptoms of low testosterone, no energy, brain fog, muscle loss, weight gain, low libido. Limitless Male can fix that. You can get rid of these symptoms with testosterone replacement. Start living your best life today. Schedule your complimentary consult at limitlessmale.com. Insurance accepted.
We take you back to 1954.
I'm looking for a revolutionary sound.
Plug, 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 plug. Your toilet's plugged, plugged, plugged.
That's not it.
Well, since my baby left me, my party's been all plugged up.
Next.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And away go troubles down the drain.
Roto-Rooter.
That's it!
Roto-Rooter has been locally owned for over 60 years and is the trusted expert. Call the original Roto-Rooter for free estimates and fast 24-hour service.
Roto-Rooter.
From the gridiron to the 9-iron, experience the thrill of the game anywhere in Iowa with Elite Sportsbook. You can now sign up for Elite Sportsbook on your phone anywhere in Iowa and receive your first bet risk-free, up to $500. Just visit EliteSportsbook.com to create an account, and your first bet is on us, up to $500. It's time to play your game with Elite Sportsbook. For a limited time only, valid only in Iowa. Must be 21. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
I'm Taylor Bishotti with NFL Network, now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Aaron Rodgers says his relationship with general manager Brian Gutekunst is, quote, a work in progress, but says the two have had some positive conversations so far at training camp. Last week, Rodgers said communication issues with the Packers front office were one reason he skipped the team's entire offseason program. The Raiders are adding an all-pro presence to their defense, signing 6-time Pro Bowl D-tackle Gerald McCoy. A torn Quag sidelined McCoy for the entire 2020 season, but he's now healthy again. The Bears are also adding a veteran defender, signing linebacker Alec Ogletree. And from longtime rivals to Hall of Fame friends, Tom Brady and Bucs head coach Bruce Arians will both fly to Canton Sunday to watch Peyton Manning's Hall of Fame enshrinement. And you can watch Hall of Fame coverage all weekend long on NFL Network. We'll have the class of 2020's induction Saturday night, followed by the class of 2021 on Sunday. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Howdy, the streamer here. You know, there's a place down yonder where 3 streams converge into one. It's where I saw the Mandalorian get himself into a space squabble. Watch me some UFC, and those folks from Modern Family had me cackling like a trout getting tickled. Well, that's the Disney bundle for you. It lets you stream Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for only $13.99 a month. The Disney bundle. It's streaming at its best.
Includes Hulu ad-supported plan. Access content from each service separately. Terms apply. Visit thedisneybundle.com for details.
I can pop a beer in here, right? Your cousin from Boston. This here is Sam Adams Boston Lager. It's my go-to beer. Not too heavy, not too light. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, that's whoopsie daisy. Oh no. Is there somebody that can help? Come on in the room. It poured right in the keyboard. Relax. I spill beer on my computer all the time. Sam Adams Boston Lager. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Drink responsibly.
Join the conversation. Follow ESPN 1170 AM on Facebook and Twitter. The Quad Cities sports leader is ESPN 1170.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. Thank you for tuning in. When we go to the next break at roughly around 12:40, I'll do our trivia question. Before that, let's take a look at, before we go into our next segment, let's take a look at some of the scores from Major League Baseball. The Tampa Bay Rays were at home against the Mariners. They won 4-3. The Brewers 4-2 over the Pirates. In extra innings, the Oakland A's outlasted San Diego Padres. The New York Yankees were 10-3 winners over the Baltimore Orioles. Phillies went on the road and beat the Nationals 9-5. Toronto Blue Jays won at home 8-6 over the Cleveland Indians. Red Sox 4-1 over the Tigers. Mets 5-3 over the Marlins. Los Angeles Angels went down to Texas 1-1. The Kansas City Royals upset the White Sox. I mean, White Sox were heavily favored in that game. Lucas Giolito took the loss there for the White Sox. Braves 7-4 over the Cardinals. Cubs beat the Rockies 3-2. San Francisco Giants beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 7-1, and the Dodgers 7-5 over the Astros. And finally, the Reds outlasted the Minnesota Twins 6-5. Looking at some of the scores today, some of the games today to look at. We've got one that's playing right now, 2 that's playing right now, and 1 that's going to start at 1:05. The rest of all right, playing right now. The Mets and the Miami Marlins are playing. The Red Sox and Detroit Tigers are playing right now. 1:05 first pitch. The Angels at the Rangers. Cubs are going to start at 2:10 today against Colorado. Jake Arrieta on the mound for the Cubs. 5-10 on the year. 6.20 ERA. San Francisco Giants and Arizona Diamondbacks 2:40. 3:05 will be Philly and the Nationals. Then the rest are all night games. Seattle at the Yankees. Blue Jays play host to the Indians. Cincinnati brings in Pittsburgh. The White Sox have the Royals again. Dallas Keuchel on the mound. 7-4 on the year. 4.51 ERA. Minnesota travels down to Houston. And Atlanta and St. Louis continue their series. Wade LeBlanc 0-2 on the year. 4.17 on the bump for the Cardinals. Happy birthday to John Olerud and his baseball helmet that he wore on the field. Adrian, trade deadline. What were your thoughts about the Cubs?
It had to be done. They ripped the Band-Aid off. These guys haven't produced together in a little while. It was really cool watching them all hit home runs in different uniforms in their first games. You got to be excited for those guys. I want to assume one of them's coming back. I really do. I think we're going to re-sign one of them. I don't know which one it's going to be. The fruit. I just think one of them is going to end up coming back in free agency come this end of the year. Just one of them. Maybe not for very long. Maybe just for a few years. Maybe
Baez isn't coming back.
I think it's just going to be Rizzo.
I think if anybody, it's going to be Rizzo.
I think it's just going to be Rizzo. And so I don't know. I think we're setting ourselves up for the future. Obviously.
What are you going to sign him as? Bench coach to hang out with Rossi?
Who, Rizzo?
Yeah.
I think Rizzo would come back and produce. I hear the Yankees are really liking him, though, too.
He's doing great.
Yeah, doing fantastic things. what people don't understand is that this is like a rebuild. Like, we're not going to trade these guys for players you might know. Like,
that's the thing.
That's what everybody's like. Who are these guys? Like, they're going to be good. Yeah. We're hoping they're going to be good. Like, in the future.
Number 9 Yankee prospect turned it to be now the Cubs' number 2 in all of minor leagues. Yeah. So that was the thing. That's what I didn't appreciate. I think over the weekend was like, here's what the Rays offered for Bryant, Tyler Glasnow, and they said no, and then Kevin Kiermaier, and they said no, and I was like, why would? And Cub fans were like, look at this. Oh my goodness! Look at what they offered. Like, why would you want that? Why when
Glasnow gets hurt every year,
absolutely.
And Kiermaier never lived up to his potential.
You know what Kevin Kiermaier is? He's a sleeper in my fantasy. I'm on my fantasy draft.
That's it. And he never performs.
He never performs. I got this guy. I got a guy. I got Kevin Kiermaier in my brain. That's what I'm going for. No.
Has he been your guy before in the past? Because he's definitely been my guy in the past.
The Cubs I've been fine with everything they did. I don't know why people lose their minds. I really don't. It's.
And we got a lot of things back for guys like Jake Marisnick, Trevor Williams. Who else?
Yep.
Well, Ryan Tepera. Who was that? The fan favorite. The guy that pitched and had the mustache and the curly hair. He's already gone. Andrew Chafin.
Yeah.
And he was just a rental 1-year guy.
Yeah.
We got things back for him for how well he performed.
Yeah.
Big things coming. Just a couple years.
Exactly. They have the.
What else did I see? I saw a meme that was like, "Are the Chicago Bulls good yet?" And it's like, yes. And then what did it cost the Chicago Cubs?
Yeah, we got it quite the weekend. Yeah. We went from that on the trade deadline to end free agency starting on Monday. I mean, you follow the NBA a lot closer than I do. I know Lonzo Ball was one of them, Alex Caruso that they have, and so that's a pretty
DeMar
big sign.
DeRozan as well.
Yeah, and that was a sign-in trade that they pulled off for that with the Spurs. So they look pretty good.
Talk about Derrick Rose coming back too.
It pushed them up, in their futures to win the NBA title, not like to the top 5, but it moved them up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Lonzo Ball, was it a 5-year deal? 5 years and a lot of money.
5 or 4.
I think it was 4 or 5. I think it was 4. And I think same thing with Alex Caruso and everything.
So now they're going to finish 6th in the Eastern Conference and not
playoffs,
12th.
I guess.
Yeah, it makes the playoffs.
Gets us excited.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can look at that. Going over to the NFL, back to that though. So Minnesota Vikings, 3 out of their 4 quarterbacks, 2 are supposed to come back, are out because of COVID protocol. 90% of the NFL players are vaccinated. 60% of the Minnesota Vikings players are vaccinated. Mike Zimmer just goes, I don't know what to tell these guys. I can't get him to do it. And that is exactly 100% what I would expect Mike Zimmer to say. People that are fans of the show, that follow the show religiously, will tell you that I am not a Mike Zimmer guy. And that's exactly what I expect Mike Zimmer to say. What am I supposed to do? These guys they don't want to do it. So their quarterback, Kellen Mond, gets COVID, but because they're in close quarters, Nate Stanley, former Iowa quarterback, and Kirk Cousins have to go sit out 5 days of training camp because they're because of COVID protocol.
Is it only 5 days now?
It was only 5 for them, yeah. So they were out. They're supposed to return back today. Now the Players Association, they are pushing the NFL to resume daily COVID testing, regardless of whether or not the player is vaccinated. So right now, under the current agreement that they reached on July 27th, fully vaccinated individuals can get tested once every 14 days. Individuals that are not vaccinated, they were subject to daily testing. They must wear a mask on team planes, and they have different rules in the weight room and food and everything else where they're at. Daily tests would probably prevent players from traveling on off days. Going seeing family, doing whatever else. I don't know, being yourself.
Yeah.
And missing a test could result in a $50,000 fine. The NFL has not yet mandated the vaccine. I do have this for you. Jimmy Graham, of the Chicago Bears, is not too excited about this. Basically, he said this. He said he was basically forced into getting the vaccine. Now he's just confused at the Players Association. He said, I've done everything I've been asked, and now feel like I'm being punished. If I miss a test that you're proposing every day, I'll be fined a max $150,000. How does that make sense? How's the punishment 100 times worse than last year and I'm vaccinated now? Great question, Jimmy Graham. Why is it that you miss a test and it's 100 times higher than it was when we were during the global pandemic?
Was it because too many people were missing tests last year?
I guess so.
Well, you had to get a little stricter with the policy?
Well, you know, with the NFL, we know what they came out with and said. Like, if we have to postpone a game, you know, we're not postponing a game. You might as well we're giving you a forfeit. And it's coming out of the players' paychecks. And you might, as a franchise, you may have to pay for recoup any losses that we have advertising-wise and whatnot. So it is a little crazy. Like I said, 90% of the vaccination or 90% of the players are vaccinated. Now, there's some out there that are like, absolutely not, I'm not doing it. And that's a tough thing to do. Some might have religious reasons. Some might have medical reasons, family reasons, medical history, you know, and that's a tough thing. That's a tough thing to police, to say it has to be that way. But I don't know. I think he's got a good point there that, you know, he's fully vaccinated. He did it. He felt like he was kind of forced into it, but he didn't want to cost his team anything. And, you know, look what happens now. The punishment there is pretty high. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't even anymore. Why is Lexi giving on the Heritage Buff Facebook comment thread the updates on Hacksaw and the show on Ian?
So
okay. Like, for those of you who are listening on radio, we also are on Facebook Live, and we have a Heritage Buff Facebook comment thread, and Lexi's giving the update of the stats for Hacksaw when he's down in Fort Myers playing MLB The Show.
All right, so when you lived with somebody for so long, you had to like play video games basically together, and
sure.
You can only have one guy on as like your creative player. And so we had one guy that we basically shared, and each of us would play him on the show. And it just so happens, like right before he moved, we got sent back down to the minors because he was not good. It gets hard. It really does. Like, and I'm just like, I try to put on easy mode. That's not fun, you know?
Yeah.
So I think he put it like on a little bit lesser mode, and then got called back up to the majors, and you know he was excited to tell me yesterday that he had 9 home runs.
Okay, good to know.
Keep me updated, you know.
I like it.
I missed that guy. It was our guy.
I
you know
know.
what I mean?
He's only been gone so long, and look at you guys already missing out on the things. Going back to that though, as far as like the protocol and everything else, I got told yesterday that there's a new variant, not just Delta now.
Yeah, there's a whole other one.
Which one is this one now? Like, how does this work? Like, this is like, again, I know it's like hurricanes get named in alphabetical order. Does a variant get named in the Greek alphabet? So if there's alpha, beta, gamma, delta, so is this epsilon?
I don't even know. You're asking the wrong guy.
That's the way it should go. Yeah. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu. So that's what
somebody said it's called Delta Plus.
Oh, okay. It's like, so do I have to, hold on a second. I'm going to get another question for you. If I get this, do I have to pay a subscription fee?
Yeah.
Is it like they come
for only $9.99?
It's like all of a sudden, like it comes up on my email, your Apple bill. You got your subscription to Delta Plus just came up. I mean, there's Disney Plus, there's ESPN Plus, there's what's the one for CBS? That's a plus as well.
And there are Hulu
Paramount Plus. Yeah, there's a Hulu Plus.
Hulu
Paramount,
Live.
Yeah, Paramount Plus. That's just, I mean, isn't that just a kick in the testicles that you get the Delta variant and then you get an email that comes up and like your subscription to Delta Plus has been renewed on Apple. Great. Oh my goodness. I can't. I am really, really worried. I did see a TikTok about that, and I'll get off the COVID thing in a second. I saw a TikTok that this woman was on there, and she's like, if I go school shopping for supplies and you guys cancel school, you guys make them stay home, I'm coming for you. She's like, just tell me now. Just tell. And I'm like, I agree with her. I was like, I agree.
Let me know.
Yeah, just let me know before we run to Target and get the notebooks and everything else and the pencils and all that other stuff. Just let us know if they're going to be home. I mean, just say, hey, there's a good chance. Not just do it over the night. So, anyway, all right. So the NFL season is right around the corner. And we got a few minutes before we have to take a break. But the NFL season's right around the corner. Do I still have it? I was looking at predictions that I made at the first of the year. All right? And this is what I made, like, instead of like making this list right here, instead of like making resolutions, I said I'll make predictions. So I made predictions. I made 5. So I said number one was neither Trubisky or Foles will open the season as a quarterback for the Bears. That's coming true.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that was January, in the first week in January. Prediction number 2, and this is not going to come true. Cubs will finish dead last in the National League Central.
Yeah, thanks, Pirates.
Yeah, good job, Pirates.
Yeah.
23.5 games back.
Really bad. There's still time. There's still time.
Number 3, Iowa will win the Big Ten West. Ferentz will win Coach of the Year. Goodson, Offensive Player of the Year.
Ooh, let's hope that one comes true. It's good for business too.
In January, I predicted Iowa would make the Final Four, along with Michigan, Baylor, and Gonzaga.
Okay,
I got 2 out of 4.
Yeah.
And then this one was close. I actually said we will be on a different format by July 1st, 2021. And we were close.
Yeah, pretty close.
We were close to going a different direction. So, but yeah, that's just, I was just looking at that. Now back to the Bears and the NFL. When does it kick in for you? When do you get excited about it?
Probably about my fantasy draft.
Okay, so the 3rd week in August usually.
Yeah.
Right around like the 23rd type of thing, 22nd. I think that'll be like 21st, 22nd. Yeah, because 23rd's a Monday.
Because as much as I love the Bears, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big Bears fan out there, but my fantasy teams mean a lot more to me than the Bears do.
Okay.
Money.
Yeah, that's true. You're investing your time. You get some money back or whatever.
I guess
else.
I could bet the Bears, but nobody wants to bet their team.
No, it's not fun.
The fantasy drafts really get me going for the NFL season. Especially when I haven't been able to, we've been good defensively. We made the playoffs and stuff like that, but there's not a lot of hope there. And this year there's more hope with Justin Fields. And I just hope they start getting it right where they put him out there at the right time for him to succeed, obviously. I'm not watching the training camp, so I can't tell you what he looks like right now.
So the Cowboys and the Steelers kick off tonight. Steelers are -2. And I think on Sunday, Hard Knocks is going to be going on.
They're in Dallas, right?
Yeah, they're in Dallas. Do you watch Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
Okay.
You catch it every year?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched it since they aired my guy Pat Anger getting let go by the Falcons, and I was like, F this.
Yeah.
F the Falcons and the show. They didn't need to do that to my guy.
Oh, so you never watched the Raiders one?
No, they didn't need to do that to my guy.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, they did Pat wrong by showing him coming in there and getting his walking papers. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with all these guys. So no, it's just like one of those. I don't know. I like the NFL. I think it's just one more thing added to my plate of trying to follow the NFL that I just don't need. That type of thing. I mean, I think even more will be even more of a highlight because it's the Cowboys. I think I don't know. I wonder what the Cowboys are going to be like. Being so close to T-Roy for all these years, there's been so many times where I've drank in the Cowboys Kool-Aid, and it drives me crazy.
Just because they're the Cowboys.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about this is that, this game was supposed to be last year. This is the first preseason game we've had in 2 years.
Yeah.
So this game was supposed to be last year. It would have been much cooler if you have like the Browns and the Steelers. It would have been cool. You're in Ohio, Canton, Ohio, and everything else. But because these are two that I'm telling you right now, they're going to see some crazy amount of money being bet on a preseason game.
Oh.
I can't wait to see the returns to tickets because these are two of the highest gambled on teams in the NFL. Broncos too, Packers as well, Patriots. I mean, those are some of the. I mean, those lines. You look at those guys every week, and you always give them a hook, no matter what. So if you walk in and you're like, and you're guessing the line off the top of your head, and you're like, I think the Cowboys should be 3-point favorites. Might as well put a hook on them 3.5 because Vegas is gonna bump them up just a little bit, knowing that people are gonna gamble on the Cowboys. There's a lot of Cowboy fans out there. I'm not one of them, but and just like there's a lot of Steeler fans out there, so it's gonna be pretty crazy. So, but yeah.
How much of the game are you going to watch tonight, Jay?
I don't really have a plan to.
Yeah.
Maybe the first series, but I will tell you that I will nothing against the guys that are getting inducted in the Hall of Fame. I'll check out as soon as they put them on the field and they have to announce all their accolades and everything else, and that are going in, because I'll just be like, okay, I got this. I mean, I okay. Can we just kick off? There's nobody's eyes that I guess Harris, the running back for the Steelers, the only one that I really want to see. Maybe Micah Parsons if he plays a little bit, see how the Cowboy defense is, but doesn't do too much to me. I'll just kind of pay attention to the score from afar because, like I said, I'm probably taking Steelers -2. Don't know about the over-under yet, but I do feel very confident Steelers -2. So, I don't know how much. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to call Emily Van Buskirk and talk to her, catch up with her about the NCAA and more. We'll be right back here. Don't hassle us, local ESPN 1170 AM.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This is Brian Rothenberger, radio guy for the Quad City Storm. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, we're local.
Hey, do you have time to go to Vegas with me?
Time? Yes. Extra money to pay for the flights? No.
No, not Vegas. I'm talking about Vegas, right here in the Quad Cities.
I've never heard about Vegas. Tell me more.
Oh, they're safe and secure gaming cafes with 6 locations.
What kind of games do they have there? And they've got beer, right?
They have the latest games provided by Gem. And yes, beer.
Sounds like I'm going to save on flights, have fun, and win big.
To find out more about their locations and hours they're open, visit VegasGamingCafeIL.com.
The JCPenney Mystery Sale is back. How much will you save? Shop Thursday through Sunday, and you could get an extra 30, 40, or even 50% off with in-store coupon giveaway. Save on brands like Arizona and Exertion. Plus, discover our new kids brand, Thereabouts. Styles designed with every kid in mind. Plus, shop extended store hours, smart shopping, and surprise savings. JCPenney. Offer valid 8/5 to 8/8. Giveaway in stores only. While supplies last. Must be 18 or older. Some exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Sadness and misery, I don't feel either of these. I'm in a good mood.
Okay.
Hey, man, what's wrong?
Well, it just didn't sound very bluesy.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
Oh, hey, Buzz.
Okay, well, let's try it again.
Smile on my face.
Nope, that's still happy.
Have a change of heart with Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get to where you want to go.
Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL and do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro.
Score a major payday with BetMGM. It's the best time to sign up for the king of sportsbooks because they're giving new customers a shot at an easy $100. Register using code FOSTER100 and win $100 in free bets when you place a $1 moneyline wager on the Cubs or Rockies. And if either team hits a home run, you win regardless of your bet's outcome. Whether you're raising the stakes on baseball or wagering on your favorite soccer team, BetMGM is always ready for action. Enjoy innovative parlay selection builders, daily promotions, boosted odds specials, and more. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use code FOSTER100 to win $100 when you bet $1 on the Cubs or Rockies. And if either team hits a home run, you win. Only at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. New customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 or older. Iowa only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
I'm Taylor Bisciotti with NFL Network now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Aaron Rodgers says his relationship with general manager Brian Gutekunst is, quote, a work in progress, but says the two have had some positive conversations so far at training camp. Last week, Rodgers said communication issues with the Packers front office were one reason he skipped the team's entire offseason program. The Raiders are adding an all-pro presence to their defense, signing 6-time Pro Bowl D-tackle Gerald McCoy. A torn quad sidelined sideline McCoy for the entire 2020 season, but he's now healthy again. The Bears are also adding a veteran defender, signing linebacker Alec Ogletree. And from longtime rivals to Hall of Fame friends, Tom Brady and Bucs head coach Bruce Arians will both fly to Canton Sunday to watch Peyton Manning's Hall of Fame enshrinement. And you can watch Hall of Fame coverage all weekend long on NFL Network. We'll have the class of 2020's induction Saturday night, followed by the class of 2021 on Sunday. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Howdy, the streamer here. You know, there's a place down yonder where 3 streams converge into one. It's where I saw the Mandalorian get himself into a space squabble. Watch me some UFC, and those folks from Modern Family had me cackling like a trout getting tickled. But that's the Disney bundle for you. It lets you stream Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for only $13.99 a month. The Disney bundle. It's streaming at its best.
Includes Hulu ad-supported plan. Access content from each service separately. Terms apply. Visit thedisneybundle.com for details.
I can pop a beer in here, right? Your cousin from Boston. This here is Sam Adams Boston Lager. It's my go-to beer. Not too heavy, not too light. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, that's whoopsie daisy. Oh no. Is there somebody that can help? Come on in the room. It poured right in the keyboard. Relax. I spill beer on my computer all the time. Sam Adams Boston Lager. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Drink responsibly.
We're playing all the hits. Every Chicago White Sox baseball game is on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
All right, welcome back to Don't Hassle Us for Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. Yesterday, I reached out to a friend of the show, Emily Van Buskirk, who covers for Yardbarker and all kinds of things, college football. She was at the Big Ten Media last week, and she hooked us up with her friend who talked to us about SEC football when they're at the SEC Media. ESPN came up with a list yesterday, which was like college football roundtable is their favorite things as far as like from favorite rivalry to favorite college town to favorite live mascot to favorite stadium entrance, favorite tailgate scene, favorite in-game atmosphere, unique in-game tradition and whatnot. And I want to talk to her about that as well, so I can get and you guys can, and Adrian, you chime in too, some of the favorite things you like about the college football. We'll kind of go through that, and then also on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread, leave your likes, your dislikes, whatever else on each category that we go to. We're going to give her a call, and also we're going to talk to her about the findings of the gender equality thing as well, because it's good to have a female's opinion on things. Mine might not be too favorable. I might get canceled. That's what I'm shooting for, Adrian. Just cancel culture.
Isn't everybody?
Yeah. Of course.
Hello.
Emily!
Good morning.
Good morning to you. It's afternoon to us, but yeah, good morning to you.
Sorry about that.
Nah, it's all right. 11:15 out there, your time, 1:15 here. You're on ESPN 1170 AM with me and Adrian on there. Adrian, say hi to Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, Adrian.
Hey, Emily, a couple things. I reached out to you yesterday because I saw that thing in ESPN 1170, and of course, you know me, Emily. You know me well enough that if I wasn't listed enough on anything to do with college football, I immediately hate the writers and everybody that's talking about things. So I was like, well, I wonder what Emily's version of what the best rivalries were and whatnot. But before we get into the fun stuff, I did send you something, and that I think you now are well aware of. It's the findings of the report as far as the NCAA goes and gender equity, and we know about the Final Four because of social media when the women were down in San Antonio and showing the locker rooms and the weight rooms and what they they were subpar. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I actually went back and checked out that tweet that kind of started this all off from the women's basketball, the Oregon player, Sedona Prince, and I had seen it, when it happened, but I really hadn't put too much stock into it because you see this stuff all the time, and I was like, oh, here we go again, like another situation where we're not going to see any change. So I remember seeing her tweet, and I looked at it again, and it's still shocking. And it's interesting to me that Oregon basketball played a role, I think, a pivotal role in the changing of the tide here, because they tend to be at the forefront, as we've seen lately of women's basketball. And that kind of made me feel a little prideful of the Pac-12, like spurring some change here in the big bad NCAA.
Okay. And then you have things that were brought to the forefront in Oklahoma City as far as the Women's College World Series happened, and then you had the Oklahoma who won the national championship. Their coach came out and said, like, yeah, there needs to be some changes. She said, usually I don't speak out about these things, but the things that were glaringly obvious was that the lack of a locker room down in Oklahoma City. I mean, the girls were basically sitting on the berm in between games waiting to play, and they didn't have, like, indoor hitting facilities, meaning like they could, before games, they could, take some cuts here and there. And she did say, like, there needs to be some changes to the locker room and the indoor facility as well. And don't get me wrong, with the Women's College World Series, the viewership was 2 times as high as it was for the Men's College World Series. It's the highest grossing revenue sport in the NCAA's, men or females, in the last 20 years for softball. So what this gender equity law firm, what they were saying is that there needs to be changes and they need to bring it now. I agree with it, but I don't know if I agree with that the men's and women's Final Four be hosted in the same city.
Interesting.
And here's why.
What is your reservation?
My reservation is if you go to a city, let's just say you go to, I'll just take here the Quad Cities, all right? Let's just take that because they host the Quad Cities here host the Missouri Valley Conference every year, the conference tournament. And when the Chamber of Commerce comes to businesses, because I'm also a small business owner, and says, we're going to bring in so much money for this. These people are coming from all over the Midwest, and we're just going to see an influx of money coming in here. You need to advertise with us, blah, blah, blah. Are we taking away from another city the possibility to have business because we want to put it all on one site?
I mean, that is a concern. I guess I hadn't really thought of that, but yes, I guess you'd be taking away, some of that from somewhere else. But I mean, the idea is that this could rotate through cities every year. So what you would take away that year, maybe they would make double the next year. You could look at it. I mean, it's a glass half empty, glass half full situation. Yes, you're taking something away, but then the idea is that you'd be giving double maybe to the city. You could look at it that way. You know what I mean?
Okay, so how about you do this, and you pick either one or the other. How about this? The previous year let's just say Indianapolis hosted the Final Four in 2020. Let's just say the women go to Indianapolis in 2021, and the men go to, I don't care, the Minneapolis, or they can go down to Tampa or Phoenix. I don't care. But every year the women just kind of go to where the men's were the year before, and they have the same setup that the men had because they just did it the year before. And if not, they may have learned some of the things that didn't go well for the men, that they make it better each year.
I think that's interesting, and financially that makes a lot of sense, and logistically that makes a lot of sense. But I think what we're missing the point here is more the emotional aspect of the idea that men and women the tournaments are equal. So whereas you're looking at it from a fiscal standpoint, I think, like, the report, yes, it cited billions of dollars, and deals and TV stuff and everything like that is important. Obviously, this entity is built on money and generated by money. But I think more so than that, there's this humanitarian feel to it where if you put them in the same place, you're not only giving them the same rights, you know what I mean, but you're putting them on the same level and saying that you guys are equally important. You don't have to have a different city, or you don't have to have the leftovers of the men's tournament, because I feel like that's how that would be seen.
Okay, then let them go first. Let them go first, and then that's the other side of it, Emily. They go first, and then all of a sudden, because now you can do it bigger and better because we were the guinea pigs for this city. Either way, the argument, and I understand the gender equality, I really do, but honestly, they are not the same, Emily.
No, I agree with you, and it's very hard as a female to look at this issue and say, well, women's basketball deserves the same as men's basketball, because from a sports standpoint, they are different. I mean, we have all watched both of them, and men's basketball, it's just different. The way they play is different. What they can do is different. Now, women's basketball has come so far, and the strides have been taken are phenomenal. We've got, Sabrina from Oregon State and all of these great women from Stanford. I mean, Tara Vanderveer is one of the best coaches ever. Like, I don't care what sport. She's incredible at Stanford. So it's come a long way, but you're right. At the end of the day, women's basketball, it's a little bit slower. It's a little bit more perimeter. There's no, dunking per se. It's just different. And people don't tune in as much. So yes, treating them the same is kind of almost going the other way in that they're not the same sport.
No.
And we're trying to treat them the same. You know, I do see that point.
But let's look at it. Let's do the fiscal thing of it. And I've seen the report of 2018 LSU and who makes money or whatever else. 3 programs made money for sports: football, men's basketball, and baseball. That's the only 3 that were in the black. All right, the other ones were in the red. And at the bottom of the 3 were women's basketball, women's track and field. It hemorrhages money out of the athletic department.
As a former Division I cross-country runner, we are the bottom of the barrel, and I get that we don't bring in any revenue, you know, so we're not in the hierarchy. And I get that to a degree, but I think some of the things that were found, you know, like the weight room differences are just bare minimum. I mean,
sure.
Yes, you know what I mean? What you're talking about is a big discrepancy in money, and I get that, but there's some things that are just bare minimum efforts that need to be put in. So, yes, they're not going to make money, and you're right. And the sports that make money, they get more money in them. That's just common sense, right? But I think at the end of the day, you have to look at the fact that these athletes are putting in the same amount of time. So I was a cross-country runner. I was doing 90 miles a week, you know, 2-a-days, going to class, doing the same things that all the other athletes, if not more. And I'm putting the same amount of time and getting way less facility and, you know, help from the university. So I think if you're going to look at it that way, the output from an athlete standpoint should be the same. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you that you can build a weight room. Come on. Like, we're better. You can cater in food. You know, you can't. You just don't throw like slices of bologna out there and white wheat bread and say like, here you go. Like that part, yes, I'm 100% in agreement with. I just don't know like. I don't know why. It's not, again, it really is no big deal. I will never be, like, it's not a hill I'm going to die on where I'm going to sit there and say, like, oh, they can't be at the same city. But to me, it's just like, oh, that's your finding? That's the gender equality? Be like, well, if it's at the same city, then everything will be the same. Like,
that fixes all the problems.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just doesn't. And
that was their kind of, I think that was their not quickest, but their easiest way to, you know, bridge the gap. And I agree. I don't think that it's the most comprehensive or the most well thought out plan. But at the end of the day, I don't know that any of these changes are going to be even taken into consideration, especially immediately, given the media deals and all of that kind of money. They said they're locked in for a certain amount of years. So I think they're making a big deal about it, and it's good because it's bringing attention. But as far as presenting like reasonable plans, it's the same thing when you look at college football playoffs and like all these unreasonable ideas on how to expand. Like, you have to present reasonable solutions so that there can be actual change that moves forward. So you're right.
You mentioned earlier about the Pac-12 and Oregon coming to the forefront and everything else, but let's talk about the Pac-12. Are they going to absorb anybody in the Big 12?
Honestly, all I've been hearing, so I've been covering media days across the country.
Sure.
And that's the questions that everyone's been asking the coaches and the conference commissioners and everybody, and just people don't know. I mean, and all of the stuff that's being talked about is in the future. You know, nothing's happening this year or next year, you know, to realign these conferences. But I don't know what the Pac-12 is going to do. This guy just, you know, took the position as a commissioner. He has an uphill battle right now to figure out what's best for the conference. But I've not heard anything about teams being absorbed. I know there's been meetings with the Big 12 and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I did talk to one coach at South Carolina, and he had said that they knew about, you know, the Oklahoma and Texas stuff for a while now. They had known months prior to this that this was going to happen, but they did not think it was going to happen this quickly. And what he told me is this: he thinks the pandemic drove a lot of these things to happen quicker than they would have normally happened because of the lack of money and the need to make up that revenue. So I thought that was a really interesting point from one of the coaches inside that conference.
Well, I will tell you this. I adore that the Big 12 took the AD of Texas off of the College Football Playoff Committee and put the Kansas State one as a reactionary thing. I just think it's great to be like, how dare you? We hate you, Texas. Yeah. You're off the College Football Playoff Committee. We're putting the Kansas State AD on there. It's just one of those petty things that I'm all here for.
Yeah, petty, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
And it fuels more fire.
I was so happy to read that. Do you think there's a possibility in the future that there won't even be like conferences?
I mean, that's honestly what this coach told me. if he was like, he's telling me all these things, and I'm sitting there like, my whole world is being just turned upside down and shaken, and everything that we've known is just going out the window. And he said, honestly, I think there's going to be 4 or 5 of these conferences. He said, I can't remember the exact words, but he said 4 or 5, and then everybody else. So that's what he thinks as a current college football coach at an SEC school. He thinks it's going to be that, and then the rest, and then that'll be the landscape. So it's just not enough. There's not enough to support the gap anymore. You know, the gap between the have and have-nots is fallen. It's a chasm. It's huge, and they can't make up the difference. So crazy.
All right, so yesterday, ESPN.com put together a list, or on Sunday or whatever else, I don't know. 2 days ago.
Yeah.
2 days ago. And they had their little round table thing. So you're a college football expert. Adrian's a college football fan. I'm a college football fan. Let's take a look at some of the things here, and you give me your response. Adrian, you as well. What's your favorite rivalry in all of college football?
I want Adrian to go first.
Adrian, what's your favorite rivalry in all of college football?
Do I get yelled at here if I don't say Iowa State?
No, you don't get yelled at. No. Don't wait, Emily. You can't chime in
that
and
is
just
right
say no.
here.
Right
It's my favorite, miss. I really like that Texas-Oklahoma matchup. That's always fun every year. I think that's the biggest one in college football right now.
Okay.
And they're allies in this against the SEC, too, which is great.
The same
which
team
I don't
right
understand this, but yeah.
How do you guys agree on anything?
Yeah.
Weird.
That's a really interesting one for me because that means there's something I'm watching that Saturday that's not an Iowa football game, and one that's probably going to get me to do it. The rivalry will probably be Alabama-Auburn.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Iron Bowl. Yeah. That's a good one. I like that. I mean, I feel like I have to just statistically out of this group go Stanford-Cal.
Okay.
Because
and you yelled at me for Iowa State? What is that?
Doesn't Stanford Cal? That's the one with the band on the field, though, right?
So that is the site of the big game.
You can see the highlight every year. Yeah. You what?
Yeah. He was at the game, so he went to Stanford from 68 to 70, 68, 69, 71, and he was at not while he was a student, but he was at that game as a fan when that happened, and he said it was one of the most incredible things he's ever seen in sports, you know, and he played ball at Stanford and he was a boxer, but I grew up going to Stanford games, so I grew up with the big game rivalry, obviously. It's not given the respect it deserves because it's a West Coast rivalry, but it is one of the longest tenure games between two schools, and it's for the Axe, and it's gotten more interesting in recent years, in my opinion, because, you know, Stanford used to be this big powerhouse in the Pac-12, and Cal has kind of closed that gap a little bit with Justin Wilcox at the helm. So, and, you know, David Shaw has been slipping a little and hasn't recruited the same kind of guy. So I think it's one of my favorites. It's a traditional rivalry, you know. It's like some people would say USC Notre Dame, very similar in that regard. So I'm going to go Stanford Cal because there's just so much history. And if you look at the people that have played in that game, you know, you've got Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck, John Elway. I mean, the list is incredible. So,
all right. Next one is you travel around a lot more than I have. I can't speak for Adrian, but the next one is the favorite college town. I've been in more Big Ten towns than anything else, I would assume. So if I have to go first and I can't pick Iowa City, which I would pick Iowa City 1 through whatever number you give me, but then I honestly will say, and I reluctantly, because everybody that's even a fan of this team or this state will point it out and shove it down your throat, but it's Madison, Wisconsin. For me, it's that, and again, that'll come up again later on. But Madison is a great town, great atmosphere. I've never had a bad time in Madison at all. I never walked away from there saying the fans were a-holes, the people were a-holes, the town sucks, nothing like that. So it's Madison for me. Adrian, do you have a favorite college town?
I only went to one game there, but Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've never been there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it there. I mean, I feel like the fans. I was going to watch some Ohio State game. Iowa wasn't even playing, so I didn't have like my Hawkeyes gear on or anything like that. But
yeah,
I felt like it was just a great atmosphere all the way around, and it was like Iowa City on steroids a little bit for me.
My brother moved to Columbus one year, and he asked if I was going to come visit, and I told him the only time I'm going to Ohio is if I'm flying over it, so I've never been there. What's your favorite college town, Emily?
I think I have three. So I have three because it's really hard for me to pick this one of all the places I've been. And it is hard doing this question because it feels like I'm exiling some of my children here, and it's very hard for me. So, like, this is not easy. But I will say in the past couple of years, the three places I've been that would surprise people, I think, as big college football cities would be New Orleans. So for Tulane, you don't automatically think of that as a college football town, but they had the Natty there not long ago, and Tulane has a huge, huge following there, and it's right in the heart of New Orleans. It's super fun. They do amazing tailgates, and their fans are very passionate. And plus, they have like a fun little team that can upset people. And this year, they're hosting Oklahoma as their first game of the season. So that's going to be incredible. I'm going to be out at that one. So really, I love going to New Orleans. My second one is obviously Marshall in Huntington, West Virginia. Such an incredible town and history with the team. I talk about them all the time, so I'm sure people get tired of it. But if you are a college football fan or a sports fan at all, go to Huntington, West Virginia for a Marshall game. It's literally unlike anything I've ever seen. So that would be one. And then my other one, I honestly like going to Texas Tech. I love Lubbock. It's weird, but it's such a fun little city, and they have good times on game day, and everyone's super unpretentious. It's probably my favorite city in Texas, to be honest with you, because it's just like a great little college town. You know, you don't get the snobby Dallas people, and you don't get the hipster Austin people. Houston's pretty cool too, but I like Lubbock. So
okay, and I think one that I want to go to, I don't have any affiliation to this team whatsoever, and I don't even have that love or hate that a lot of people do for this team but South Bend I just think is one of those things to be at.
Oh yeah, that's incredible. Yeah.
I'm not going to even give my opinion on what this other one is. A favorite live mascot. I don't know. Do you have a favorite live mascot? Anybody?
Yeah, it's ridiculous to me that this is anything other than the Buffalo at Colorado. The running of the Buffalo before the game at Colorado is one of the greatest traditions in college football. I cannot believe that anyone would answer anything else.
I didn't know Colorado had a football team.
Yeah, this is that makes sense to me 100%. But you might remember Mel Tucker. He kind of did them dirty this last year and left for Michigan State. That might ring a bell.
Yeah.
So Colorado, though, I did a story on their handlers. I actually spent some time with the people that are selected to handle the Buffalo. It's like a whole team that you have to try out for. You're part of the team. It's like a little club that they have, their scholarships and whatnot. And I actually got to run with the Buffalo at a practice, and it is crazy, these people that do this. It's incredible. The atmosphere when the Buffalo comes out, it's a female. Her name is Ralphie, and she just runs this little half circle, and she's so fast and often bucks the people off of her. But it's so cool, and that's the only answer. So
what about the Bulldog in Georgia?
Uga?
Oh, my, Uga? Okay, I've seen Uga in person as well and taken my picture with him. He's cute, but he doesn't do anything. He just sits in his air conditioning.
What do you need him to do?
As he should.
It needs to be cute.
He needs to do something.
I love that you're passionate about this.
Right? He is really passionate about it.
I really do. I thought we were just going to gloss right over this topic. I love that you're passionate about it.
No.
I'm impressed that you got to run with the Buffalo.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes. That was one of my favorite stories I've ever done. I'll have to repost it because that was years and years ago when I first started out. But it was one of the cooler things. People just don't know about it. A, because it's Pac-12, and B, because it's Colorado. But it's something, honestly, and they used to do it at the Bronco Stadium because every year they'd play Colorado State there in like a rivalry game, and they used to bring her out there as well. But I don't think they do that anymore. So I'll repost the story on my Facebook and Twitter, and people can read it. It's pretty neat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess your favorite stadium entrance in NCAA. For you, Emily.
Stadium entrance?
Entrance, yes.
Like the front of the stadium?
No. When the team comes out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
The front of the stadium.
No. It's just the category's favorite stadium entrance or whatever else. I'm gonna guess yours for you.
But,
you know what I'm saying when the team gets announced or whatever else, and they come out, the crowd goes wild.
Okay,
I'm guessing it for you, and you tell me if I'm right.
Okay.
Is it Clemson?
Are you gonna guess
Is it
Iowa?
Clemson? No, you haven't seen Iowa yet. Is it Clemson for you?
That's true. Yeah, I would say Clemson. Yeah, you have to, because if you think of all the places I've been. I think theirs is the most, as far as when the team is out in the field, which not a lot of places do that unique of a thing for that. It's usually the same. I would say Army as well. Army is pretty unique because they have the Rangers drop in.
Yeah.
They have the American flags everywhere.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
They play, there's really cool songs. So Army is cool, but yeah, Clemson, they touch the rock and they run down the hill. Yeah, I would say a tie between those two for sure.
I've heard you talk about it before. So, Emily, if you ever get into a fight with your boyfriend, just say, I wish you listened to me the way Jay listens to me when we have our conversations on the radio sometimes.
He's sitting right here, so I will
say hi to Chase for me, please.
I will.
Okay. Yeah, Clemson's a good one. There was one, when they were doing the Around the Horn thing, they were talking about Virginia Tech's Enter Sandman, and I was like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? Because Iowa comes out to that as well. And again, I told Emily, just stop. Every time I mention Iowa, stop rolling your eyes and saying, oh, no. And on
what does she not like about Iowa?
And on the Facebook comment thread, Jason Anderson says, remind her she still has to go to Iowa City. And I'm,
I know.
Yeah.
It's on my list of things to do, and I actually have a newfound appreciation. I've covered Iowa on the road at Northwestern when they shut, out the Wildcats, so that was cool.
Mhm.
But I also was able to interact with some of the players and coaches at Big Ten Media Day and have like a fun little bond with Tyler Linderbaum, who's amazing.
Yes.
And obviously Spencer Petras went to my high school, so I do have a soft spot in my heart for Iowa.
Did you get to talk to him about that?
I did not. Spencer wasn't there.
Okay.
But I had a question for Coach, but they were shutting up shop. So what I did is I asked Tyler who he thought, because we were talking about the hot dog eating contest and whether it's a sport. And Tyler said, yeah, it's a sport, like arm wrestling's a sport. And he's like, I said, oh, well, Tyler, do you think your coach would win in a Big Ten arm wrestling contest between other Big Ten coaches? And I'm not kidding you. His response was almost like he didn't mean it, but he said no, and he laughed. And then he backtracked, and he was like, well, listen, I think Coach Ferentz would give it a heck of a try. He would give it a go because he is a tough – he's like, you got to factor in the age here when you're talking about arm wrestling. So he's like, I would bet on him to make it through, but I don't think he would win the whole thing. So I asked him who he thought would win, and, he wouldn't – I tried to goad him into giving me an answer, but he wouldn't. But for the record, I think Brett – I can't even say
Bielema. Bielema is the answer.
Bielema,
at Illinois, he's the answer. You 100%.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, 100%. My brain was already racing.
Because Paul Chris could be a dark horse. He's big. He's got the size and he's got the arms, but he doesn't strike me as much of a killer as
no.
Brett, so.
It's not Paul Chris because he looks like again. I'm the only one probably. I'm the only one in this conversation that has kids. Paul Chris looks like the farmer on the Curious George cartoons. It's not happening for me. Paul Chris isn't happening.
Okay.
So it's
all
not,
right. Well, that's emphatic. So I guess that's out. But
just
you
not happening.
I'm curious who the listeners would think would win in a Big Ten coaches arm wrestling tournament. So please tweet me your answers at Emilman because I would love to know. I am going to pose this question to the coaches one day.
I love
and
it.
I can't wait to hear the answers.
It's a great question. All right.
Thank you.
Again, you've traveled a lot further than I have. Adrian, you've been to Columbus. I don't know if you've been down south or whatever. Favorite tailgate that you've seen?
Ooh. That's going to have to be, by default, Ole Miss, the Grove, I think.
Okay.
It's a toss-up, the Grove and then Georgia. I've been to Athens, but I went when they were playing Middle Tennessee, so it wasn't quite the big game day. Oh, and I'm going to throw in this one wild card, Georgia Tech. When they play Georgia in the clean old-fashioned hate rivalry game, Georgia Tech tailgate is insane. And you wouldn't think so because it's like right in the city there, but it was pretty crazy. So obviously Ole Miss, because the Grove is amazing, although my experience at Ole Miss was not great because they were awful to the Cal coaches when we were there.
Yep.
So that kind of that soured me on the experience. But my best experience was Georgia Tech for the Georgia game. It was incredible. So,
favorite college tradition?
Oh God, that's really tough.
And I'm going to tell you right now, when you make it to Iowa City, when they do the wave after the first quarter,
the
you will
right?
cry.
Yeah.
You'll cry. Emily, you'll cry.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But there's other things out there that I'll give out there. Again, I've already mentioned Madison. I want to bring it up again. When they do jump around, it is the most amazing and crazy thing in the world because you feel like the stadium is going to fall because everything shakes. It's nuts. It is absolutely
Well, they do that
nuts.
at UCF as well. UCF has like a their house is called their stadium's called the Bounce House, and I was in their press box. Yeah, and I was sitting up there, and the press box sways and moves when the fans like jump around, and it terrified me because I come from California where we have earthquakes, you know. So I was like freaking out when it happened, and everyone's making fun of me. They're like, "Oh no, it's just the Bounce House," but you feel like the press box is gonna like fall over the field. It's crazy. So that's kind of an interesting environment there. But I like I said, the running of the buffalo at Colorado, but then also USC with the Trojan horse is pretty cool because that horse has been in like a Stevie Nicks video, and he comes out with the full-on sword and stuff, and that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I think the other one that I would like to see, I mean, I've seen it on YouTube, but I would like to see, and I do not want to go to an Alabama game, but the Dixieland Delight when they ad-lib in between the lines of the song, it's pretty cool. I like that.
I have not seen that. Yeah, I've not been to an Alabama game, and all of my Alabama and LSU are two on my list that I would love to see. So.
Well, it's kind of like the song, you know, Dixieland Delight by Alabama, and it's and it's the lines are "Make a little lovin'," and then they chant back all night, and it's all kinds of weird stuff like that. Hold her up tight, and then it's like against the wall. It's kind of graphic,
okay,
but yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, just YouTube it, you'll find it or whatever else. But so you're getting your list together of where you're going to travel this fall?
Yes, it's actually coming out. I'm going to record a podcast on tomorrow with another guy, College Football Campus Tours on Twitter. He goes around and does kind of the same thing as I, and he's hit a lot of stadiums as well. So we decided to do a reveal of our schedules on my podcast tomorrow. So I have kind of the preliminary list. Things are going to be moving and changing as we're working. The plan is to be working with Joey Chestnut on some of these games. And I just spoke to him yesterday. So we had an original plan, but now we're kind of amending it a bit to fit his schedule so that he can come out with us and cover these games. And the idea is to have a Joey Chestnut all-star eating team that we choose a player for each, week of the college football season from a team that we're covering. And we create this, NIL type team of eaters. And, by the end of it, he has this army of guys that are big eaters, and they're the Joey Chestnut champions. So it's going to be fun. We plan to go out to different games, cover the tailgate, show people his, condiment line, and then he's going to cover games with us on the road. So it should be pretty fun, and hopefully we'll be in a city near you guys.
I certainly hope so. So would that be a thing where, like, he eats, like, a certain amount of ears of corn in under a minute or something?
I think he can do that. I'm actually not sure what the corn title is, but I know that is a contest that they do. So I'll have to. Did you see my video where I asked Harbaugh what the food? I asked Jim Harbaugh, and people were just shocked. I asked him if he thought, if he watches the hot dog eating contest. He said yes, and it was the only time I saw Harbaugh smile all day when I started asking this in front of like all the people. And I said, do you think it's a sport? And he was like, absolutely. It's competition. It's, Joey Chestnut's the best of all time. And I said, well, Coach, what is the food that you could put down at that level? And he took a minute and he said, corn on the cob. He said that he could eat Joey Chestnut levels of corn on the cob. And I said, wow. Well, I just ran with it at this point. I was like, okay, Coach, well, how do you eat your corn? And he was like, well, butter and salt. Is there any other way to eat it? And then we talked about how you dress corn for a few minutes. So it was pretty incredible interview.
It's the only time I've agreed with Harbaugh, I think.
Yeah.
I feel in my my years of existence.
A little more likable now. There you go.
Yeah, a little bit more likable. Emily, thank you so much for your time. Tell everyone where they could follow you. And when is that podcast going to drop? That when you're recording it tonight? Is it going to drop tomorrow?
We're going to record it tomorrow. It'll be out next week. Okay. The one that I just did one with the players from Marshall and Georgia Southern, where they talked about their country music careers and their NIL experience. One of them's a barstool athlete. The other one's just a singer. And they came on and talked with me about how they've been navigating it. So if anybody is curious about how the players work with the compliance department and how they find these deals and what their coaches think, definitely check out that podcast. It's called 3 Chords and the Truth on the Sideline Sass page at Spreaker, anywhere you listen to podcasts. So, and then just follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Emilnim, EMILNIM. And please, please, please ask me your favorite college football questions because I'm gearing up right now for the season. So I'm definitely in the mode. And make sure you subscribe to the podcast, Sideline Sass.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. This has been a lot of fun. We covered a lot, and in this amount of time. Thank you for 30 minutes. That's awesome. And we always have a pleasure talking to you. And I hope that in your list, in your schedule, that we can make it to Iowa City to meet up and see each other and watch an Iowa football game.
I'm going to be like Harbaugh when they asked him if he's going to beat Ohio State. I'm going to make it to Iowa City or die trying.
There you go. I love it. All right. Emily, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Really do. And
No problem.
always great when you answer the text and say, I'll be on the air. So take care and stay safe, sanitized out there. Enjoy yourself.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
You know, she's always great. I really always enjoy that. But she just seems like she has it out for the Hawkeyes a little bit.
Because I think she's
not
just
a fan. Not a fan.
I think she's just sick of us always. Like, we've known her now for, oh my goodness, over 2 years. I think the first time we met her was the summer of 2000. First time we met her, we met her in like the summer of 2018, maybe, via like phone call or whatever else. But the first time we met her, she came into town. She was working for the Peoria. No, it was probably 2019. It was 2019, not 2018. And she was working for the Peoria Chiefs. And we had already like had her on the air via phone call, but she was like, "I'll come up for a River Bandits game and see and so we met her then, and we just always stayed in touch. And she's coming to town. She did in April. Her and T-Roy did they did back and forth on the NFL draft. So she came into town, and that's the other time. And so we've always kept in touch, but she just knows we just hammer Iowa to her, and she's probably just sick of it.
Probably just tired of it.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely a great. And again, when you have someone like that, and we that covers so much, and her stories are just incredible.
Oh yeah,
of the people that she's just sat down.
She got to run with the bull.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Yeah, the buffalo.
Buffalo.
So, but the other thing is like, she's just very personable and very nice. That she doesn't come out like, she'll just have conversations with coaching staffs that they just stick around and talk to her, and she's got so many more stories that she really can't share because they pull back the curtain when they're just having conversations. But the crazy stuff, like when she had that I forget her name and I apologize, but she set us up with a girl who did the SEC media, and she brought up Mike Leach, and I'm like, have you shared a bottle of Tito's with Mike Leach the way Emily has? No, not yet. But Emily is seriously just sat down, drank with Mike Leach, and just listened to his stories.
That's great.
And she's got more like that with the LSU coaching staff and everybody else. So it's incredible. And that's, honestly, that is all it takes in the world, is just to be a nice person. And you'll get further and you'll make longer relationships and everything else. So we do have to take a break, though. We've gone 40 minutes without taking one. And Adrian, if you want to take off,
that'll probably be
you gotta go.
Yeah,
I'm going to take a phone call at 1:30 anyway. But I appreciate you coming in, Adrian. You free tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'll look up some fantasy stuff.
We'll make it a fantasy football Friday tomorrow. So when we see you, all right, guys, we're going to take a break here. ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us local. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody! You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Ella Schmidt, the 106-pounder for Bettendorf, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Hey, do you have time to go to Vegas with me?
Time? Yes. Extra money to pay for the flights? No.
No, not Vegas. I'm talking about Vegas, right here in the Quad Cities.
I've never heard about Vegas. Tell me more.
Oh, they're safe and secure gaming cafes with 6 locations.
What kind of games do they have there? And they've got beer, right?
They have the latest games provided by Gem, and yes, beer.
Sounds like I'm gonna save on flights, have fun, and win big.
To find out more about their locations and hours, they're open. Visit VegasGamingCafeIL.com.
It doesn't seem right, but school is just around the corner. Enjoy the last days of summer and help kids get ready for school at the same time. August 10th is One Step's Kids Helping Kids Night with the River Bandits. Bring school supplies to the One Step table and you'll get free tickets to the game. The River Bandits will have $1 hot dogs and $1 double play and wind-up rides. Plus, the first 1,000 fans will receive glow sticks. First 250 get t-shirts. Kids Helping Kids Night with the River Bandits, August 10th with One Step Printing.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin,
I don't know if I want Justin Fields right out of the gate just to be the guy. I would like for him to ease himself into it. But I started finding myself thinking, if he does start right out of the gate, does that buy Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace another year? Is it bad that I'm even putting myself in that situation now? I'm thinking about, are you doing what's best for the player, Justin Fields? Or are you doing what's best in the interest of Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace to make sure that, hey, we gave our rookie a start, we gave him everything he needed, a quarterback like Andy Dalton who's there to help him out, build him up. It's going to take some time, guys. But we got to be patient.
This isn't Jacksonville. This is a playoff team. I wouldn't mind starting him immediately because they got pieces in place, especially on defense. Offensively, they've gotten better. Allen Robinson is back now. So when you look at it, it's like, if he wins the job, it might make sense to start him.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Hey, Quad Cities, what do you need printed today? QC Press has 2 locations, QC Press in Moline and now Davenport Printing Company in downtown Davenport. Either location will help with t-shirts for employees, yard signs for your construction company, direct mail advertising to the general public, and yep, even business cards. A QC Press local designer will create your perfect card. Whatever promotional items you need, QC Press will get it done for you. Go to QCPress.com or DavenportPrintingCompany.com and let them help you get it done.
Your legacy is important. Preparing your final wishes is a lasting gift to family and friends. Lock in and guarantee today's prices while alleviating the burden on your loved ones. Whelan Presley's pre-arrangement policies are guaranteed to be there when needed. You can even begin the pre-arranging process from home. Log on to WhelanPresley.com or contact us to get started. Trusted over 130 years, Whelan Presley Funeral Home and Crematory.
We would be honored and privileged to serve you.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Julio Jones does move on. He will be with the Tennessee Titans. And Key, you were shooting it down, saying it's not a good fit.
You're looking at him and you're saying production is going to come because they're going to throw the ball. They're not going to change their style. They've gone to the AFC Championship game, a couple playoff appearances on the backs of that running back in Derrick Henry. You think about the philosophy and style that Vrabel wants to play. They want to be big up front. They want to run the football. So you trade for Julio Jones, when many people think Julio Jones is on the way backside of his career based on injuries. But I don't necessarily like it for Julio, and I don't know what to make of it for the Titans because of the style of play. They're not going to be the Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not going to do that.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Hey, Sarah, how's business?
It's going well. Our clients love our work. I just wish that we could figure out how to grow faster.
I hear you. Is it slow for everyone in your industry right now?
Actually, no. I see competitors all over who seem to be very busy, even though I know my work is better than theirs. I just wish I knew how they were finding new customers. If I could do it too, I know I could beat them.
Growing a business in the Quad Cities is challenging, and figuring out where to start is the hardest part. If your business does great work but just needs help finding more customers, then Town Square can help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis that'll show you how the most successful businesses in the Quad Cities grow and how you can do it too. These strategies are simple, and we can show you how to apply them to your business. Be one of the first businesses to sign up, and you'll receive $500 in free advertising on this radio station. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBLB Davenport, a Town Square media station.
Almost 1:30 in the afternoon here, Thursday, August 5th, 2021, BC. We're going to take a phone call here in a few minutes. Hopefully it'll give us a call. But, you know, there's been some alarming stuff out there, and we've had plenty of listeners, and we've talked over the years about the number of Little League participation, how it's going down. And we've blamed things such as travel ball and whatnot. And Little League can also create travel ball as well. But the Little League World Series is upon us. We all grew up watching it. It was on ABC Wild World of Sports. And we love it when we have our Davenport teams that are representative. And we have one that's possibly going to. They're actually leaving tomorrow from the Davenport Southeast Little League team that won state this past weekend in Sioux City. We'll be leaving tomorrow to head out to Whitestown, Indiana to play in the Midwest Regional Tournament. And so there's 7 teams in the tournament. They're going to take the top 2 teams, and they're going to end up going to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, to play in the Little League World Series this year. There's no international competition thanks to COVID. So tonight, at the Southeast Little League fields at 6 p.m., Southeast Little League is going to have a send-off for the 12U team, as well as they're going to honor the 10U, 11U, and 12U state champion teams that won out of their district. I mean, 10, 11, and 12U all won the state championship here in our Quad Cities, which is amazing. All right, so the Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the Little League World Series will begin on August 29th, okay? So we'll be able to watch some of that on ESPN or ESPN Plus. So we want our Davenport team to go. I did mention that participation has decreased quite a bit. Although it was peaked in the 1990s, only 38% of the kids aged 6 to 12 played in team sports on a regular basis in 2018, down from 45% in 2008, per the Sports and Fitness Industry Association. Just for an example, and not in our backyard, but the Warner Robins Georgia Little League registration fell from 1,000 in 2008 to 524 in 2019. In Indianapolis, it dropped from 500 in 2003 to just 110 this spring. Hey, by the way, let's not sit there and say it's about travel ball. Let's also blame some people out there that are making COVID a little bit crazier than this. All right, we're going to take a phone call here, ESPN 1170 AM, and we're going to talk with one of Little League baseball players. You're on ESPN 1170 AM. Who do I got here?
Luke Martin.
Love it, Luke. It's been too long, my man.
I agree.
I know. Last time I talked to you, it's just me in studio right now, but last time I talked to you, we were in the middle of the football season. You were stay at home. You weren't at school, so we got to have you on the air. And then they made you go back to school, and I didn't get to talk to you. Huh?
Yeah, when you thought Big Ben was a top 10 QB.
You're right. I did, and now I don't know so much. You schooled me on it, and you taught me right. You pushed me in the right direction. I was talking to the listeners before this. You guys have a send-off tonight at the Southeast Little League fields at 5600 Eastern Avenue, Prairie Heights Park in Davenport tonight at 6 p.m. for your send-off, right?
Yes.
And then you are part of the 12U team. That's a state champion. And you guys are headed up to Whitestown, Indiana?
Yeah, it's going to be a bunch of fun.
A bunch of fun. I saw you on the news the other night. You said you just take things pitch by pitch. That was pretty. That was a very mature and very media-friendly quote you gave there.
Yeah, we got that one from our coaches.
Oh, yeah? Did they coach you on how to handle the media?
Kinda. They always say talk about your team.
Okay, so did they coach you? Did your dad or mom coach you how to handle talking to Jay?
No.
No, I think you know how to do that. I've known you for quite some time now. It's pretty cool that Southeast Little League had the 10U, 11U, and 12U state champions.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so are you guys now? I'm going to ask you some questions. So, is this Southeast Little League? Is this based on of all stars from the Little League, or is this basically your Rage team put into the all stars?
So it's the all stars from the majors level,
mm-hmm.
and then there's 11U players that are in the majors level, and then the best 11U players form a team, the best 12U players form a team, and the best 10U players form a team. But a lot of the 10U players play minors and not majors.
Okay. And your birthday's coming up, right?
Yeah, like 15 days.
Okay, so you're playing you're basically playing 12U though, but you're 11 right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how much traveling have you guys done? Is the majority of the time you just going to Des Moines?
For travel ball or for both?
Let's start with just this team right now, that you're doing.
All right, so in districts we could have gone to Burlington, but we didn't because they didn't have a game there. So the farthest we went to Sioux City, but we usually drive about like 25 minutes for district games.
Okay.
And then this weekend to Whitestown, it's about I think, a 4.5 hour drive.
Gotcha. So you were supposed to have districts in Burlington, but it was canceled?
No, so Burlington is pretty far away. I don't know why they're in our district.
Sure.
But there wasn't a game there, so we could have traveled there, but we didn't.
Okay. So you guys just automatically made it to state without having to qualify?
No, we won districts.
Okay.
We beat Burlington in the finals. It was at West Emay.
Oh, okay. I'm with you now. All right. So you go to Sioux City. How many games did you play in Sioux City?
I think we went 5-1.
Okay. So you lost in like a pool play game, and then in bracket you guys came out?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what was the final score of the last game?
It was 7-6 and went 10 innings.
It went 10 innings. And was there a pass ball and overthrow at third, or what happened?
Well, so we were up, like, I think we scored 1 or 2 in an inning,
Uh-huh.
and it was a curveball in the dirt, and this was going to be the game, strike 3. Our catcher missed it, and it was a pass ball, so they got on a drop third, and then there's a guy on third there, so he scored. But then the game was tied. We went in. I think we scored 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then scored 2, and then we struck them out to win the game on a curveball.
Well, that's pretty exciting. Did you guys all run out in the field and everything else?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, I mean, I know you've got your coaches and you've got your parents and everything else telling you guys what a big deal this is just to make it to Whitestown, Indiana. I just don't know. Did they share stories like your coaches growing up, like how much they watched the Little League World Series when they were your age?
Yeah, they do. Like, our coaches always say how jealous they are of us and just talk about that. They say how they would love to go there as kids, but they're really excited that we made it and that they can go now.
All right, so 7 teams are going to be in Whitestown, Indiana. The top 2 are going to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, right?
Yes.
From what I'm understanding here also, for out there people that are listening, is that you guys, there's a possibility that you guys are going to be on ESPN Plus and maybe ESPN?
All games are on ESPN Plus. The 2 championship games are on regular ESPN.
Okay, so the semis move to ESPN. So all games are on ESPN Plus, and then the semifinals it moves to ESPN. So and that's going to be over this weekend. So you guys leave tomorrow, and then when's your first game? Saturday?
Yeah, and then tomorrow just gonna be a practice. We tighten things up, get ready. Then we'll probably leave after practice, and our first game's against South Dakota.
Okay, against South Dakota. Do you guys have any idea, like, the type? Do you do any scouting at all? Do your coaches? Do you have any idea, like, what you're looking into?
Yeah, like yesterday we brought in a kid. He's like 14, a big lefty, because we think they have a good big lefty pitcher just to get that arm angle down. So
sure.
We brought in a lefty yesterday in practice. We had an inter squad scrimmage 7v6, and we hit off him a little bit just to get that arm angle down.
How did you rake against him? Did you do okay?
Yeah.
And Luke, what position do you play?
Shortstop and pitcher.
Are you the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4? What are you in the rotation?
Probably the 3 or 4.
Probably the 3 or 4. Okay. And then shortstop as well. What number are you?
Number 44.
Why 44?
Rizzo, and I just like the number.
Rizzo's 43, isn't he?
No, he's 44.
Oh, he's
on the Cubs,
44.
at least he was. I'm not sure what he is.
I think he's 48 on the Yankees now. How are you doing with the fire sale of the Cubs?
I mean, I'm surprised they traded Baez, but I'm fine with trading Bryant. And I mean, I wish they kept Rizzo though.
So out of the 3, do you think they'll sign Rizzo back?
I think they'll sign Baez back.
I don't think so. I think he'll be fine in New York. I think he likes it there. He gets to be with Lindor. He gets to be with Lindor.
Yeah.
He gets to be with his buddy. I mean, you like playing with your buddies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I like that they got all those good prospects.
Yeah, I think they got some great prospects. All right, so before we go back to talking more about Little League, tonight we got the Steelers, your boy Big Ben Roethlisberger's team. He's not going to play tonight, and the Cowboys in the Hall of Fame game. You might be missing some of it because you'll be at 5600 Eastern Avenue of Prairie Heights Park for the send-off. Who do you like tonight, Steelers or the Cowboys, in the preseason NFL game?
Don't pay much attention to preseason games, but I hope the Cowboys win.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Not a big fan of Big Ben and the Steelers.
But he's not going to play.
Well, I know, but Ben Roethlisberger in general.
So they're just guilty by association, the Steelers are, so you're just going to pull for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
All right, Steelers -2. I like the Steelers tonight, just to let you know. Hey, the over-under, the total, are you familiar what the total means when I say 32.5?
Yeah.
What do you like? I can't believe I'm asking an 11-year-old this. What do you like the over-under on the game tonight?
I'll take the over.
I like the over as well. All right. I think I'll follow you on all that. Okay, so back to Little League. Do you guys have walk-up songs?
No, but I think they just play it for us anyways. Because last night, there was a player profile thing that asked you 25 questions, like your favorite food, your favorite song, if you had a walk-up song, what would it be, and just a bunch of other questions. It was cool.
What was your walk-up song that you answered?
Oh, I think it was something by Polo G, Martin and Gina.
Okay. Now, do you have I don't know if you remember, but I think it was 3 years ago, there was some kid, he's like, my name's such and such, and I hit dingers. Do you have a go-to that you're going to do to go viral?
Well, a kid on my team does. His name's Nick Shy. He hits bombs.
That's what he's going to say, my name's Nick Shy, and I hit bombs?
No, he's going to go, hi, I'm Nick Shy, and back at home they like to call me the dinger guy.
Ah, it's pretty good. That's not bad because it rhymes too.
Yeah.
I like that. You need to come up with something too.
Yeah.
So all these questions answered. What were some of them? So what would you answer as for your favorite food?
Favorite food? I think I said some wings. Some
wings?
Yeah.
Is there a flavor that you like, or?
I like barbecue.
Okay. Now, you really haven't. So you really haven't had to do too much traveling when it comes to this. The All-Star team. Sioux City was your furthest. Now you're going to Indianapolis. You're going to Indiana, Whitestown, Indiana, and then hopefully, and I'm pulling for you and expecting you guys to make it to Williamsport on August 29th as well, which is pretty cool. One, it's cool that you get to go, and two, Luke, you get to miss school if you get to go to Williamsport.
Yeah, basically, when we lose, our summer's kind of over.
Yeah, and so you got a lot to deal with here because you've got 3 sisters in your house as well that they get to miss school too if you get to go. So you better pull through here so that they can get out of some school. Yeah.
And if we win or at least get placed second in the regionals, there's a huge bus and we go straight to Williamsport. It's a 8.5-hour drive.
What?
Yeah, there's a bus with TVs, internet, everything. And they take us straight to Williamsport, and you just do a bunch of activities and all that stuff.
So, hold on a second. I don't know how this makes sense to me. So, if you get first or second, and this will be on August 8th, that'll be Sunday. Is that right? Yeah, it'll be August 8th. You're going straight to Williamsport? But you don't. Oh, the championship is until August 29th. I got you. So, I'm thinking it kicks off on August 29th. The championship is on August 29th, so it's probably about a good week and a half of games going on there.
Yeah, but it'll probably be what did I say?
Huh?
Yeah. Never mind.
Okay. So you're packing like you're going away for a while.
Yeah, and I think we go so early just because there's activities, so we'll be there for 2 weeks without just doing stuff, meeting other kids and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you're gonna have to quarantine you and do a lot of other nonsense that really an 11-year-old shouldn't have to go through at your age. But hey, small price to pay for this memory, right?
Yeah, When yesterday we had to get COVID tests, and then right when we get there we get a COVID test, and I think we have to get COVID tests every day.
Yeah.
And then we have to be in a room with 3 people, and then we can't we have to wear masks everywhere and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I bet. So how does this work? Just to give the listeners an idea of just how the family aspect of it, for those who have younger kids that are playing Little League, that they think about it. So you go on this bus. Your coaches probably go with you, I would assume. What goes with the 3 sisters and your mom? Do they come back home for a little bit?
They have to. I think they'll go home for a little bit, a week.
Yeah.
And then they have to stay in different hotels than us and stuff.
Gotcha.
And they have there's a certain amount of tickets this year, and it's weird.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I'm sure they've put everything out there for everyone to get for the COVID protocols and whatnot.
And if there's like one coach, one player that tests positive for COVID, the whole team's done.
Okay. Yeah, so everybody mind your P's and Q's. Stay away from people and, don't do this. Don't take it away from the kids. Is there, and again, I'm not expecting you to not get first or second in your group. But that being said, what you said, the COVID protocol, let's say you do get third. Do they say like, hey, you never know. If a team gets it, we're calling you up?
I think that's a possibility.
Mm-hmm. I'm not expecting you to, though. We're not going to play that game. We're not going to play the third or whatever else. You're going for the championship, right?
Yeah, I think we got a really good shot.
I think you do, too. It sounds like you guys have been successful. You've won a couple state championships already, not just for the Little League. You've done it for the Davenport Rage as well. So you guys are you guys are not unfamiliar with success, and I think you guys handle yourselves well. How's it been like having the media just, you had the KWQC in there, you've had Quad City Times cover you, and now you got this show.
It's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's been like, it's been different, like, just because we're only 11, it feels weird.
Yeah.
But I like it.
So here's what we need to do. We need to find out. Once you guys punch your ticket to Williamsport, what we need to do is we got to figure out a way, like, I don't know what your schedule is, and I'm sure your dad will let me know, but we need to have you be our, like, on-site reporter. Let us know what's going on there in Williamsport.
We will.
Yeah. What number do you bat in the batting order?
3.
You bat third? Ooh, that's the spot, man. You're the big bat. How many? Do you know your batting average?
No.
You don't. You know how many home runs have you hit?
I think I've hit 1.
1. Do you know how many RBIs you have?
No.
Okay. You're just not a numbers guy?
No, I'm not a big numbers guy. More of a batting average guy.
Just collect the W's. That's all you care about.
Yeah.
All right. So is Rizzo your favorite player?
Who?
Is Rizzo your favorite player in the major leagues?
Either him or Baez.
Okay. Is there anybody that's on the Cubs right now that you got your eye on?
Some dude named Crow Armstrong, a new prospect.
Yeah, that's the guy that they got from the Mets in the Baez trade. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
I like that Patrick Wisdom though.
Yeah, he's ripped too.
Yeah. He looks good in a Cubs uniform, so I'm pulling for him. Yeah. Anything else that what can they people follow you on TikTok, Twitter? Are you doing anything social media? Are you going to be making TikToks out there when you're out in Whitestown, Indiana, or anything?
I don't think Little League allows us to.
Really?
Yeah, we can't I don't think we can post anything till it's over. They check everything. It's weird.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, they get you really locked down.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Well, I don't. You don't have any nerves or anything, do you?
It's a little nerve-wracking to go, but it's also so fun, and I'm really excited to play. We should play today.
Do you get nervous before games?
Depending on what game, yeah.
Yeah, but butterflies are good. It just means you're a competitor, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was always taught. It's not a nerves, like you don't feel like you're up to the challenge. It's just that you're a competitor, and it's just a matter of, it's more of the adrenaline than anything else to be involved in it. And not only this, before we let you go, not only this, you've also had success in basketball, haven't you?
Yeah, we won, I think, state twice, got second in club each year.
Okay. And then, and you guys are usually playing up, from what I understand?
Yeah.
And then do you do any other sports? Do you play football? Do you golf? Soccer?
I'm going to try out football this year. I played flag, but I'm going to try out tackle this year, see how I like it.
Okay. Well, you might be a little late to that because hopefully you're in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no, I don't play any other sports.
You don't do any golf or anything?
I'll golf for fun sometimes, with my dad or my cousins, but
Gotcha.
No, I don't play golf.
Are you any good at pickleball?
I am good at pickleball.
I'm really good at pickleball. Can we do that? Can we set this up sometime?
Yes, we should. Tonight we're having a team party and we're having a pickleball tournament.
After the thing, you guys are having a pickleball thing at your house?
Yeah, we did it last time before state, and it was good luck, so we're going to do it again.
I feel like I should be invited to this thing. I
think we should invite you.
I think so as well. I'm going to text your father and say how upset I am that I'm not invited to this. But it is a team thing. I'm not going to crash your team party. And by the way, if it was good luck last time, I'm not going to put that on you because I'm superstitious when it comes to things. So I actually, when you come back from Williamsport, we will get together and play pickleball.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yep. Hey, Luke, I want to thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed talking with you. You always carry yourself well. You're much more mature than than I would imagine an 11-year-old to be. You're probably more mature than I am. You carry yourself well in the interview, and I appreciate that. And we will set something up. I know you're going to be busy after you qualify for Williamsport, but I want to find some time maybe in between things during your agenda of what things you're doing to get an insider's look at what's going on at Williamsport as far as the Little League World Series. Can we do that?
Yeah, any free time I have, I'd love to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Yep, I love having you on, Luke. Hey, best of luck to you. Hit a homer, champ, okay?
All right, I will.
Thanks,
Bye.
buddy. Bye. All right, that's Luke Martin from the Davenport Little League All-Star team that's going to be out at Whitestown, Indiana. They're going to have a send-off tonight at 6 p.m. at Prairie Heights Park. It's 5600 Eastern Avenue in Davenport, Iowa. They're going to be honoring the 10U, the 11U, and the 12U state champion teams from the area, and they are leaving tomorrow for the Midwest Regional Tournament, Whitestown, Indiana. There's 7 teams playing there. He told you that they're going to be playing South Dakota, and the top 2 teams in that area from that region are moving on to Williamsport. We will be right back here. Don't hassle us. We're local on ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Adam Rosso from Hawkeye Headquarters, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
One of the things I love about betting on FanDuel Sportsbook is you get more than one shot to swing for the fences. Right now, new and existing users can get up to $25 back in site credit each day. Just place a minimum 5-leg baseball parlay, and if it falls 1 leg short, you get up to $25 back with parlay insurance. There is a reason FanDuel Sportsbook is America's #1 sportsbook. The app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique, fun bet types like same-game parlay, and always-on promotions to let you get more action out of every game day. And when you win, FanDuel will pay your winnings in as little as 24 hours. In addition to the parlay insurance, if you haven't tried FanDuel Sportsbook yet, new users can place your first bet risk-free. That's right, new users get up to $1,000 back in site credit if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code Trevor to get in on the action. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Trevor. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only for risk-free bet. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $25 per game. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
The JCPenney Mystery Sale is back. How much will you save? Shop Thursday through Sunday and you could get an extra 30, 40, or even 50% off with in-store coupon giveaway. Save on brands like Arizona and Exertion. Plus, discover our new kids brand, Thereabouts. Styles designed with every kid in mind. Plus, shop extended store hours, smart shopping, and surprise savings. JCPenney. Offer valid 8/5 to 8/8. Giveaway in stores only. While supplies last. Must be 18 or older. Some exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
This is a big deal. Now at healthcare.gov, millions more people can get affordable health coverage. Due to the COVID relief law, 4 out of 5 customers can get a plan for under $10 a month with financial help. From doctor visits to preventive services to prescription drugs, these are quality plans. You can do this. Sign up by August 15th for a health plan. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
Good night.
There's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the course keeps changing right before your eyes. Whoa! And in order to maneuver it, you need an expert by your side. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech solutions you need to help you get out in front and stay ahead of the game. Woo! Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL and do more with modern devices in Windows 10 Pro.
I'm Taylor Rashadi with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Aaron Rodgers says his relationship with general manager Brian Gutekunst is, quote, a work in progress, but says the two have had some positive conversations so far at training camp. Last week, Rodgers said communication issues with the Packers front office were one reason he skipped the team's entire offseason program. The Raiders are adding an all-pro presence to their defense, signing six-time Pro Bowl D-tackle Gerald McCoy. A torn quad sidelined McCoy for the entire 2020 season, but he's now healthy again. The Bears are also adding a veteran defender, signing linebacker Alec Ogletree. And from longtime rivals to Hall of Fame friends, Tom Brady and Bucs head coach Bruce Arians will both fly to Canton Sunday to watch Peyton Manning's Hall of Fame enshrinement. And you can watch Hall of Fame coverage all weekend long on NFL Network. We'll have the class of 2020's induction Saturday night, followed by the class of 2021 on Sunday. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Howdy, the streamer here. You know, there's a place down yonder where 3 streams converge into one. It's where I saw the Mandalorian get himself into a space squabble. Watch me some UFC. And those folks from Modern Family had me cackling like a trout getting tickled. Well, that's the Disney bundle for you. It lets you stream Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for only $13.99 a month. The Disney bundle. It's streaming at its best.
Includes Hulu ad-supported plan. Access content from each service separately. Terms apply. Visit thedisneybundle.com for details.
I can pop a beer in here, right? Your cousin from Boston. This here is Sam Adams Boston Lager. It's my go-to beer. Not too heavy, not too oh boy, oh boy. That's whoopsie daisy. Oh no. Is there somebody that can help? Come on in the room. It poured right in the keyboard. Relax. I spill beer on my computer all the time. Sam Adams Boston Lager. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Drink responsibly.
Download our app today to get breaking news sent right to your phone. Never miss a thing. From the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
All right, wrapping up the day here. Don't Hassle Us Local on ESPN 1170 AM. I want to thank Emily Van Buskirk, who talked to us roughly around 12:45. If you missed that, you can go back to our Facebook Live show. Won't be live to you when you watch it, but go back to our website. Don't Hassle Us for our website, our Facebook page. Don't Hassle Us for Local. You can see that we're on Facebook Live as well, and you can take a look and listen to that. A lot of good insight about things going on in the NCAA, about the gender equity issues, and then just some good conversation about NCAA and the traditions and rivalries and games and whatnot, and she just brings so much to the table. And then we just had a conversation, started roughly at 1:30, from Luke Martin. He's a member of the Southeast Little League All-Star team that is going to Whitestown, Indiana. They're going to be playing in the Midwest Regional Tournament. Top 2 teams from that are going to advance to the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. So like we said, it's a big deal. It's awesome for these kids. I'm very, very proud of them. And very happy for the 10, 11, and 12U Little League teams from Southeast Little League that won the state tournament over the past weekend. So congratulations to them. They all put in the work. And congratulations to the coaches, too. I mean, I know they do it for the kids, but really, that's a lot of time and money and, forget about money, time that they put into it, that they're volunteering to do. And sometimes it's overlooked. There's too much time that they're complaining. Parents are complaining about the coaches and what they do, and not enough of like, hey, you guys did this, you guys are doing that. Thanks for it's the Sunday nights at 8:00 in the cage in the middle of February, and this is all paying off for them. And it's paying off for the kids to put that time in there, and they're the ones, and like Luke said, he's in other sports as well, but he's making time to put a lot into his sport and to be an athlete that he is. And congratulations to him. I'm very happy for those guys. I hope they do great out there. You can watch them this weekend, the Davenport Little League, on ESPN Plus. If you don't have it, someone who does, get their login and watch them support their Davenport Little League team. And the semifinals will be on ESPN as well. So like Luke said, they had all kinds of questions for him. He said there's about 25 questions, favorite food, this and that. And they said they got a guy, Shy, I think he said his name was Nick or Nate Shy. I apologize, Nate or Nick, but he's got a little thing, and hopefully he gets to go viral, Nick Shy. And back home they call me the Dinger Guy. Love it. I'm looking forward to that. Get a little clip of it. We're going to share that on social media, try to get this kid to go viral. So a lot of great things going on here in the Quad Cities. I'm sure you guys are all enjoying Fair Week. I hope you are. And I really do appreciate you tuning in. Tonight, Hall of Fame game, Steelers -2, over under 32.5. I'm going Steelers -2. I'm taking the Steelers, and I'm going the over 32.5. I just don't see how it's going to be low scoring. I know you're going to say, like, what's preseason, first game? They've only been there 6 days. Well, defenses, they're not used to running back on their heels or anything like that. I think Mason Rudolph's got some things to do. And who knows what Garrett Gilbert has up his sleeve. Mike McCarthy needs to change some things there. There's a new defense in Dallas. They got to figure that out. New offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh, he's got to show off some of his skills as well. And I just think there'll be a random touchdown here and there that'll put it over the 32.5. So Steelers -2. It'll be on Fox tonight at 7. Football's back, folks. We're right around the corner for Iowa football. It's Hall of Fame weekend. We will talk to you tomorrow. Don't hassle us local. Stay safe and sanitized, Quad Cities. Take care of each other. Be nice to each other. We will see you tomorrow.